Introducing a new pattern and a new design by yoshieyarniedesignz. It's a New Year bookmark. Hello and welcome to Tat with me with Molly Yoshikawa from Yoshie Yarnie Designs. We are going to be tatting the It's a New Year bookmark, which is here. This bookmark is made with split rings in the white and a needle lock joint chain edging on the sides here in gold. And the showstopper of the whole bookmark is this beautiful fringe. It looks like macrame. It reminds me of maybe a Chinese New Year fancy that you might see in a card, or even like on the fortunes. Wanted to do a little piece for the new year and to ring in 2025, and I wanted to show that with you. I wanted to show that to you, and I wanted to make it with you. So this is actually a tat along, and I will be providing the pattern for free. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is youtube.com and then at yoshieyarniedesignz. Okay, so our materials that we need are size 10 white thread, size 10 gold metallic thread, crochet hook if desired. I have a 5-0 tatty needle, and of course our scissors. Just a FYI, this gold is a little challenging to work with, so I would say be patient with yourself and go slow. Let's start. First things first is our now remember, I try to be funny and sometimes I'm not, but it's okay if you laugh. I don't mind if you are entertained by my antics. Sometimes I can be a little silly, and that's okay. Just have fun with this. That's the point. And I also want to tat with you, so that's my other point. I love to craft, and I just want to craft with you. So, all right. So because my eyesight isn't the greatest anymore, and I'm not that old, but I'm going to use a needle threader, and I'm just going to put my tatty needle over the little wire portion, and then I'm going to slip my thread through that wire portion, and then I'm gonna take my needle eye off, and it is threaded. Good. Oh, the other thing is we want, I forgot to tell you this, we want stitch markers. So whatever you use for stitch markers, I knit and crochet, so I use these type of stitch markers, whatever, but the ones that you can open and close. You need stitch markers. It's gonna make the finishing process a lot easier. So make sure you have your stitch markers close at hand. And this is that's very cool. All right, okay, so got our needle threaded. So this is made again with split rings. Strips. One of these strips takes probably about 1.5 to 2 yards. So our split rings are 8/8 throughout the pattern, and then we actually want to have picots on each side. So that'd be 4 picot 4. So when I'm doing split rings, I need a lot of thread. So I'm gonna actually pull out about 2 yards of thread. That's gonna go into my loop. So I'm gonna start with a split ring here. So that is the first half of my split ring. So what I want to do at this point is add my stitch marker. So I'm going to add my stitch marker right here, right in the middle of the split ring. And then I'm going to turn my needle around. As I would be doing any normal split ring. Take the thread off, at least in needle tatting. And then I'm gonna put my stitch marker close, like so. And then I will do the second half of the ring. Picot. And another. So, as you can see, I have 4 double stitch picot here, right there, 4 double stitch, and then this is half of my ring where the stitch marker is, and then 4 double stitches picot, 4 double stitches. So I'm just gonna flip my needle again. I'm gonna thread my needle, and because I can't see anymore, I'm gonna use a needle threader from my trusty these needle threaders. You just put that wire portion in to the eye of the needle, and then I usually hold it with my pinky so it doesn't fall out, and then I thread my thread into the wire portion and then pull the needle threader through, and my needle is threaded. So I will be closing the ring as usual, taking the stitches off, and remember you have a lot of thread here. So one of the nuances with the split rings is that it is very easy to get the yarn tangled. So I would say just go slow and be patient with yourself. Sometimes using a felted mat helps to keep it from tangling so much. Okay, so there's our ring. I'm gonna do a little trick to make it a little more even. See how the opening right there, the top of the ring is a little uneven. So I'm going to actually, I don't know, let's see if you can see this. Okay. So sorry. You're gonna go into that stitch cap right there. And you'll see in just a second how even, see, now it's even. So at this point, I do not tie a knot. I just keep going. I just do start my split ring again, my next split ring. So again, 4 double stitches, picot, and then 4 double stitches. Okay, and I usually pull on the picot just because that's something I do. You don't have to, especially since these picots are not going to be seen. They're actually joining picots, so they don't have to be big, okay? Now, another thing that helps with, so it doesn't twist so much, so the split rings don't twist, is doing it's called a RODS, rods, and it's reverse order of double stitches, which is kind of a funny term, but what it is, instead of doing your double stitch with your thumb first and then your pointer, you're going to do your pointer first and then your thumb. And that is doing the second half of the doing the second half of the double stitch first, and then the first part of the double stitch second. So if you can see, it is a little bit different there because your stitch, that's your first stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you would to flip it, it would look proper. See, on this side it looks kind of funky, but anyway, it's correct. And I do that not because I have to, not because of visual appeal, but I do it so it doesn't twist so much. It'll twist a little bit, but not as much. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can show you how to count that again. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then I would, again, use my needle threader. I just took off my glasses because I get tired of wearing glasses all the time, but that's not a good point to do that because I'm gonna thread the needle again. Just like I did before. Another tip that I'll share with you is that I try to keep the needle thread close by, because remember I told you it was really long when you're doing split rings, and you have to unthread and thread the needle all the time. So I try to keep that end close to me rather than let it go to the floor or fall to the floor. And that helps. Okay, so then I close the ring And there's my ring, my second ring. And then again, here it is. See, I just took off my glasses again. You see that? See, I just need to keep them on. My goodness, I'm not that old. Let's see. Okay. So right there, that's the next, or that's the first stitch. And I want to put the needle under that stitch cap because it's a little more, it's more stable, and it looks better, and it looks more sturdy, and it is. Because as you can see, that's the joining part of the, see what I mean? It doesn't twist as much because that's a joining part of the each split ring. So that's kind of giving it more meat, if you will. So for this project, I'm keeping the, let's see, the ball thread is to my left and then the needle thread is to my right. And I'm not reversing work. Okay, and then again, picot, but we got pointer, thumb 1, pointer, thumb 2, pointer, thumb 3, pointer, thumb 4. There we go. And then I will flip, and of course thread the needle. Thread the needle threader. There you go. And I'm going to close this again, as I would normally closing a ring. Okay. And then we'll do that special trick. Not sure if there's a name for this. There you go. So that is that's 3 split rings. So I am gonna go ahead and come back when I'm at the last split ring. So you will be making 12 split rings. When you get to, I will come back on the 12th split ring. So this is my 12th split ring. Again, I do my reverse order of stitches, which means the pointer goes first and the thumb goes second. So 1, 2, 3, one more, 4, and then I do my picot and continue to do the rods. Okay. All right. Okay, so what I want to do, I actually want to make a space for the fringe. And how I'm going to do that, the simplest way possible, is I'm going to put a stitch marker in the spot where I'm going to tie it. So let me get the needle threaded. I'm going to put my stitch marker in this loop here. There's another way you can do it too, but let's do it this way. So it's kind of like a idea of the self-closing mock ring sort of idea. Okay, so then I'm gonna close it, and then the stitch marker is right there where I need it to be. Okay, so then we would, I'm still gonna do my special stitch where I'm going under the stitch cap. And then I'm gonna make sure that has some room there. And then I'm gonna tie off. And I would highly recommend weaving in the ends at all times. Okay. All right, so we started with the split ring with the orange stitch marker. I'm just gonna, because this is twisting, you can see, I'm just gonna make sure that it's not twisted. See how picot right there is not twisted. So I want to start it on that side. Okay, so starting another strip. I'll get you started, and then I'm gonna have you tat the rest of it. On your own, because I believe that this probably won't take very long to make. So you can go at your own pace. Okay, so remember, about 2 yards of loop we need. And as you can see from my snipped, these threads, 2 yards is probably a perfect length. All right, here I go. So I'm gonna start it as usual. So remember 4, and then I'm just gonna join it into this picot right here, like a normal joint. So you can use your crochet hook if you want to. The crochet hook, I just insert it from front to back, and then I'm gonna grab that ball yarn. Usually I try to hold, there we go. There we go, that's how I do it. Pull it through, and then wrap it, place it on the needle, and it's joined. See? Okay, and then you just do your regular split ring. Don't forget at this point, the first one, we add a stitch marker. So right here we add the stitch marker because we want it right in the middle of the ring. So right there. Oh, did you see it? Yeah, right there, okay? And then do my reverse order of stitches and close the ring. And that's what you're gonna wanna do for the next strip. Do exactly how I showed you. 1, 2, 3, 4 strips is what it is. 3.5 inches, or however wide you want it to be. It would be the same. Okay, so see how it's, see? I think you have all the tools you need to finish the first part of the bookmark. There you go. So I will let you go at it, and I will come back with you when we're doing the chain edging. So as we put on the edging for our bookmark, I've run out of thread, as you can see, so I have to add more thread. So I'm going to use my needle threader and place my thread into the needle threader. Now this thread is a gold metallic, and as you can see it has a gold thread running through it. That makes it a little more challenging to work with because the gold thread or the metallic thread wants to bunch up and get tangled into your thread when you're tatting. So can be a bit of a challenge, but be patient with it. So I'm gonna just continue my needle lock join, my chain edging with my needle lock join. So my pattern, because I want it to look a little bit more fancy, is 2 double stitches picot, 2 picot, or 2 double stitches picot, 2 double stitches picot, and picot, 2 double stitches. And you can see from the sample that I've already made that it really makes it fan out, but that's what we want. And it's gonna scrunch up because the rings aren't that as far apart as the chain is long, but that's okay. So instead of doing like a traditional needle lock join, I'm just gonna put the needle through from front to back, and then I'm gonna tie a knot. And that's gonna give it a lot of it's gonna give it a lot of dimension, which is what I want. I don't want necessarily a flat piece per se. I want something that's gonna be blingy. So that's how the chain edging is gonna look. And then I'm gonna do it from all the way to the end, and then cut the thread at the end, and then do the other side. So our last piece of the puzzle is the fringe, this lovely fringe for It's a New Year bookmark. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I am going to take the gold thread, metallic thread, and I am going to find something long. And I have chosen my case. I'm going to wrap it just 4 times. And then I'm going to take it off. And I'm going to cut the end. And I'm going to make a fringe. And now we have marked the picots, the beginning picots there. I'm going to actually put it in the ring, in the hole in the ring. And how I do it is from back to front. And right here, I'm just doing a regular fringe. And as long as you do it the same way every time, see, and then I'll go ahead and do 2 more because we need to place the fringe on the rings before we can tie it into that fancy, beautiful holiday style of tassel. And the key here is we want 8 strands, because you'll see in a moment how we actually split up those strands to make each fringe share strands. All right, one more. And in this instance, you know, the gold thread works wonders because it doesn't matter if it separates or not. So this is not a problem at all working with it for fringe. Okay, well, looks like I'm a little short there. Let's see. Okay, I think we can probably make that happen. I think it's okay. There we go. All right. All right, so I have my fringe on. Now, we're gonna separate the fringe. I probably will not have a written tutorial of the fringe on the pattern. So if people are gonna have to watch the video in order to see this. But once you see it, it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so you're gonna divide the strands up into 4. And it's just easier to do it all at one time. And they separate pretty easily. It kind of reminds me of macrame and the friendship bracelets. Oh, how I love the friendship bracelets. One of these days I am gonna make a design with them. Okay, so basically what we want to do is take these two and these two and tie them together. We're going to do overhand knot, and I tie them all together like this, but I'm going to make it super loose. Super loose, super loose. And because I do that, I will be able to move that knot wherever I want it to be, or take it out. And that's the point, is that we want it to be flexible. So when you do this, just take your time. Take your time, you really get what you want. Okay. And then of course, if you have more, like this is just a sample, but mine, I had more, but then you would just do like the second or the first row. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one. This one I only have 2, which is fine. Okay. And then if I like how that looks, which I do, make it tight, but just do it gently. And then I also like to have that lattice work. There we go, that looks good to me. So I would make that tight. Again, depending on how tight you want it, what look you want. Okay, and then we do the sides. So again, tie them together. And you can always use a crochet hook to help you out if you need it. Take it slow. Okay, so this is the side one here. Like that. Oh, you know, and then you do this side. Anyway, you can take this and play with it, and that's the basic idea. And then, of course, you would trim it as you felt like you wanted to, or, you know, play around with it, see if you like that. See, I probably would like that. I would have to fix it, of course. But then in your sample, these would already be all gold. And then this would have a little edging around it too. So, yeah, play with it and then just trim it and cut it, and then you have your It's a New Year bookmark. I hope you've enjoyed making this bookmark with me and learning a few new tips and tricks. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care and happy tatting, Yarnie.